I love this fucking song. I've been listening to this song like 3 times a day. In the car, on the way home, on the way to work, after work. I'm gonna learn it on bass. The guitar sounds hectic and it doesn't interest me. Like, I'm not saying the guitar itself isn't great, but learning something for me, learning a cover for me has to involve an exceptional riff that we've all done it. We've all had that time where we heard something and we're just like, man, I got to learn that. Like, and you know when something is in your skill range. It's not like I'm going to go listen to like an Yngwie Malmsteen album being like, I'm going to learn that. I'm not going to fucking learn that. I have no time for that. The amount of time that is put, I really disagree with the amount of time that is put into learning covers. I feel like there are so many musicians out there that are just wasting their creative prime by just recording and learning covers just for clicks. I don't know. But if you're out there, I know there are a lot of like artists out there that do really good, like of their own covers. Like they make a song their own and they completely change it and they make it more metal, they make it more ska, whatever, they make it hip hop, doesn't matter. If they're doing that to me is like that's almost like writing your own song. I think that's like a rite of passage, right? So anyways, this song, Mutoid Man, the last song, anyhow, not the song that you guys that I opened the stream with. That song is awesome. So it's Mutoid Man is the band. It's called Call of the Void. You guys got to check out Mutoid Man. It's great. The bass line really speaks to me though. I do want to learn the bass. How's it going, Pedro? How's it going, Kyle? How's it going, anybody else that's happened to be in the comments or in the chat today? If you do, say hi. I'm not going to bite you. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the Amp Sim Show. I gave the Mindsinger a night off. I was only intending on using that guitar like crazy amount. I'm going to be using that guitar a ton on this channel. But admittedly, I'm taking some time to find the right pickups for it. And sometimes that takes time. It just does. If you don't think that the set of pickups you have in your favorite guitar right now may not even be the set that ideally represents that instrument. You never know. Just making sure. So anyhow, hopefully you guys are doing great today. My name is Tyler. As I said, we are testing out some IRs, maybe blending some stuff today. Probably more like just testing, unless we're using an older library, then we might do some blending. We're going to be on here for about 90 minutes today or so. And I can't wait to get into some heavy tones. Xander Bananas. I'm playing on the new Carnage plugin. What's the new Carnage plugin? Which sounds sweet. The dudes at Quantum DSP gave me I haven't heard of Quantum DSP, I don't think. The Carnage thing sounds great. Well, you know what? Let's go to the let's go and see what Xander's talking about here for a second. Okay, we're gonna go to okay, so Quantum DSP. Expand your horizons. Carnage. Is this so what is this? What is it? What does it do? Is this an amp? Ultimate metal guitar digital amplifier plugin. Ultimate. How many times have we heard that? Like, we got to find some new words here, folks. The ultimate metal digital. At least they're not calling it the greatest right out of the box. $129 US is putting the plugin in with the big boys. When you price your stuff like that, a lot of companies. Okay, I'm not going to talk. Definitely not talking shit. But let me spell this out. When you put out a new, you're a new developer, and when you start putting out products, a lot of these new developers are looking at what is the highest price we can possibly charge for this. What is the high price right now? What's the high average? And they're looking at companies at the very, very top of the heap and seeing like 119, 129, and so on. And that's not a bad thing to aim for. But by doing that, you also need to realize that you are now basically stepping into the ring with a bunch of killers. Okay, by pricing your plugin higher, arguably even higher regular price than the big boys, you are very much, like I said, you're stepping in the cage with the killers. You're stepping into the ring with the big boys, and you better have the gloves on and you better have the combos to keep up. That's all I'm saying. So I'm definitely going to try this out. If Xander's telling me I got to try it, I got to try it. There's also another one. They also have another amp sim, guitar amplifier plugins. They have two, in fact, in the Invader. And there is not a lot happening in these plugins. That's a lot to charge. $129.99 is a lot to charge, unless it's one of those always on sale situations where we have all seen those. Couple other companies, but yeah, this looks cool. I'm gonna try it out. This is sweet as fuck, dude. I really like it. The amp knob, deal with really good captures. Okay, but if it's an amp knob, there is no fucking way they should be charging $129 for it. There is no universe where anybody should ever pay $129 for something that's just very, very limited, like an amp knob. The pricing on the amp knobs is pretty fair, I find. But what they're charging here is like that. I think they're charging like $50, $40, 50, 60. That's in the ballpark for sure. But $129, again, you're stepping in the ring with the big boys. And if someone's looking at your plugin versus all the other stuff they ever paid $129 or $119 for, they are going to be looking at your plugin like this thing absolutely better crush, because I know what they've already got a benchmark set for what $129 should sound like and operate like and feel like and whatnot, right? So that I always caution. New DSP, new developers, I would always suggest doing something for free first. Do something for free to get your stuff out there, and then something free is always really great to get your name out there and get moving. And if people think your stuff's really, really good, it is going to spread like wildfire if it's free. If it's free and it sounds amazing and it's functional and it feels great, it's going to spread like wildfire. And I'm telling you, what I'm seeing right now, maybe the price is a bit too high, but I got to try it first, and I will tell you, I will reach out and see if I can get the nice people at Quantum DSP to let me have a look-ski. And if they're nice enough to do that, then I will give them a look-ski. What else we got here? We also have, this is this company that do this. I know why I've heard their name now. The Hybrid IR. Eddie and I were talking about this. Is Eddie in the stream yet? Damn it. Where's Eddie? We need Eddie. We need Eddie to talk. We were talking about these before. These are pretty well priced. $16 for the pack is nice. That's a nice price. Has anybody tried these? The high octane rock, classical rock, and hard rock heroes. Has anybody tried these out? I'd be interested to hear about it. What does the hybrid IR mean? Great digital modeling, technologies, true in the room experience. Okay, cool. I had some big claims. I like big claims, but I don't like big claims from developers that just know what they have is not going to compete. Like that does happen. Eddie. Like I said, I said amp not because it's upload ready. Just upload and ready. That's cool. That's cool. I'm interested. I'm very interested. Okay, let's get on to our show here. I have the Ampcraft 1992. I have the MRH. I have the MRH 810. That's from Nimbrini Audio. And I have the L12X solid state amplifier. And this is free. This is the free portion of our stream. And these are 3 products I love testing IRs through. And a lot of the stuff I'll be using tonight, I've tested. Some of it's going to be old. Some of it's going to be new. I'm going to show you guys what I have available for companies and developers. Okay? So let's go to the screen. Now, inside here, you guys will see that if you guys have any requests, I'm going to go through a few things. But if you have any requests, new, old, I may have it. I might not have it yet. I still have not grabbed Lewin's new pack yet, but I did put Eddie's new pack in here. So I've got stuff from Bogren Digital. I've got the old Catharsis Studio stuff, Celestian, Devil's Lab, Dr. Bonkers, Eddie, aka Sharface, Eminence, Fat Lazy Cabs. I've got the Fredman Impulses ready to rock. I've got some old stuff from JST, Call Thalen, ML Sound Lab, Ownhammer, Red Wires, C-Cow Signature IRs, the Lost Hero pack. Oh my gosh, I wish C-Cow would just put that one pack back online for free because everybody would benefit. Sinmix, a recently defunct smaller company with some really cool stuff. I have one folder I call, this is my own folder, this is my own bullshit, my own blends and stuff that I've put together with IRs shot by a friend of mine. I was gifted a whole bunch of IRs from a friend of mine that shot a bunch of cabinets and then decided he just had no interest whatsoever in doing an IR business. He really wanted to do it. He got things started during COVID, and then after COVID was over, he realized, I don't like doing this anymore, and I'm going to sell everything. Do you want these IRs? I said, yes, absolutely, I want your IRs. So I took them on, and I promised I would never share them or sell them, but I'm allowed to make blends with them. So here we are. Val Hallier, one of my best friends in this industry, and Andreas is one of the most amazing people. Andy we'll call him, is one of the most amazing people on this earth. And if you've never heard of Val Hallier, it's Valhalla, but instead of an A, you put an IR on the end. Go look them up. Some of the most ridiculous cabs you've ever seen in your life. He's very eclectic. And I know all of these companies that I'm going through right here, the majority of them, all of them put a mic to a speaker and do the work. There's no strange oohs and ahs and black box ways of making these IRs. These are real human beings with real microphones that put them on real cabinets and do the work, make the loud noises, and do everything they need to make IRs. None of this, there's no voodoo going on here. This is just human beings doing the work. And it's hard to do good IRs. Great IRs is very tough. It is not easy. Eddie will tell you that it is a very, very hard and difficult thing. I watched Eddie start from El Scratch Ola, where said, hey, Eddie, become our IR guy. We have an IR expert in Mike Santaciero from Dr. Bonkers, but he is like he's the guy. We don't want to bother him unless it's something way up there. But with Eddie, we needed this in-house guy that had the time to just, I'm taking it on. I'm going to understand it. I need to know what's going on here. So he learned, and boy, is he getting fucking good at it. All right, let's go through the comments here. I'm not sure, but they sound pretty gnarly. What are they based on? Do you know? Hello, guys. Thomas, how the fuck are you? Have you tried Audio's cabs? I have, actually. Been messing with them recently. I have a couple of the packs. I've never really tried them. Can you use them outside of the black amp? I've always thought that they were like encrypted into it. You couldn't use them with other plugins, but I'd be me being wrong, as I tend to be. So I got an email, off topic here, guys. I got an email from someone that said, hey, you know what would make your channel better if you did more content on Neural DSP? He said that I don't know any of these companies. He said, I don't know any of these companies. I don't know any of these companies that these products that you're showing off, but I know I would watch a lot more if you did more content for Neural DSP stuff. And my answer to that is, hey, see you later, bro. Enjoy another channel. There's about 7,000 channels on YouTube right now. People doing amp sim content sparingly, and the only amp sim developer they really do, or maybe the top 2 or 3. We have a bit of a different vibe here. We go after everything that sounds great and feels great, and stuff, especially stuff that's affordable. No disrespect to Neural DSP whatsoever in the universe, because they are fucking amazing at what they do. We all know that. But yeah, I mean, I do like to do some Neural DSP content from time to time. But hey, guess what? We have a lot of other companies in this industry. It is no longer 1 and 2 companies, this giant void, and then a bunch of others. This is the impression that a lot of people have about the amp sim industry, just based on the companies that can do the most marketing. And it's definitely in the quality. They really do believe there's these 2 or 3 companies at the top, this giant void, and then a bunch of garbage they've never heard of. And that's sort of like saying the people that say that underground metal sucks and they only listen to Trivium and Slipknot because that's the only bands they've heard of and they never really get outside their box. That's basically what you're saying. Basically the same thing you're saying. To this person, I was very nice and said, hey, listen, I gave you a giant list of companies that are selling amazing stuff. If you want to check that stuff out, by all means, please do. And yes, we're absolutely could not possibly, and we've never ignored Neural DSP on this channel. We have a lot of content featuring Neural DSP products on this. But hey, I mean, just it is what it is. And you know, he's like, I haven't seen any release day streams. All they've really done is the X series stuff, and they haven't really done a whole lot of other stuff since we've fired up this channel. So once they do a new release, I'm totally in. I just don't know if there's a release day stream is necessary for a product that's like just a revamp. So that's just me. All right, guys, we're gonna move through now. Going back, we have a lot of these companies, and we have a lot. So by the way, there's also Wilkinson Audio and York Audio. Been messing with the audio. More content of the cats. More content of the cats. Oh, well, I got Brymir behind me here. Brymir. Dude. Brymir. He's out like a light. I've got Sam here melting on the radiator, but you can't see him because I don't want to move the camera to see him. But trust me, he's very much here. I'd love to provide more cat content. And my wife actually has a channel that she's starting that there's going to be some fun cat content, and I'll name drop it once in a while. I myself am starting a secondary channel. I will be known as Captain CanCon, and you guys are going to be getting some fun Canadian covers out of me over there, just doing playthroughs and such. Back to it. Let's head over to get our day started with the ML Sound Lab stuff. I'm just going to go with their, let's go with their Mix 77. That's the Mick Thompson, what is it? Is it DV77 speakers? Is that the deal? So as you guys are aware, Miko always puts a blend of single mics, and there's also some blends in here. We're going to go with some blends when we can. And we're going to turn down the music a tiny bit now that we're going to be playing some guitar. Perfect. All right. If you guys are curious, this is Satan Takes a Holiday. Hootie You Voodoo. All right. Hey, Bo, how's it going? Honestly, man, neural exclusivity doesn't even make sense these days. It fucking doesn't. And that's the other thing is like these neural artists or any of these artists, they're getting most of the, when someone says they're an X artist, most of the time, unless you're up in the A tier, that just means you're getting free plugins. But then you have to sign this weird contract that says you can really only make content with one. I'm not saying there's a contract for Neural DSP, but I know for one particular developer, I was given an opportunity to be an artist, and I saw the contract with these eyes that did say that I was not to make content with any other any other thing, and I was like, absolutely not. But thank you for offering. So, ML SoundLab, you can become an ML SoundLab artist too. I'm not sure, but I mean, with IRs, I think it would be a lot different than. I could probably stand to use just one. I could just use Dr. Bonkers IR's cat hair for the rest of my life. So I could become a Dr. Bonkers artist. But there's no way I could ever limit myself to one plugin developer. Not ever. I don't think I could do it for, unless the money was like severe, you know, like no one would ever give me money for anything. So. All right, we're gonna get started with the L12X. Actually, you might have expected I was gonna get started with my boy, the 1992, but nah, we're gonna go with the Dead Horse, and the Dead Horse here is all set up to crush as usual. That's from, by the way, this is from WaveMind. If you've not seen this by now, oh my God, if you've not seen the Protone pack from these guys yet from WaveMind. Had a bit to do with setting it up myself. Been talking with Dennis Mullen over at Protone for a really long time about it. I hooked them up with WaveMind, and then boom, here we are. We've got the Monster Fuzz as well as the Gary Holt. I mean the mid boost, not licensed to Gary Holt. It's got the blood graphic and everything. But this thing is rad. As you guys, if you were a fan of metalcore or played guitar at all, at that one point. The Dead Horse was everywhere. And there was a bunch of signature versions. There was a Marrow signature. There was a Bulb signature. There was a bunch of them. And this bad boy right here, stoked to have it in the setup. So we're going to start with, as mentioned, we're going to start with the Mick Thompson IRs. And then we're just going to go from there. We're going to get a good tone, and we're just going to do some swapping. Let's see what we got here today. This is my Ibanez RG, a bunch of numbers, and I call it Woody. This is Woody Jr. I got two Woodies, and this has got a set of DiMarzio deactivator, well, the deactivator and a PAF Pro, PAF 36 anniversary. Sounds pretty darn good already, doesn't it? And if you've never used the L12X, she's pretty mean. That sounds pretty good already. I'm not hating this tone at all. Wouldn't mind a bit of a bigger room. That's a bit of a bigger room. I kind of like a bit of a room verb. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you guys are cool with that. I usually just turn it off in the cab section, but I like to use my own a little bit. Just, it mostly works for me, but... I'm not sure about the height for the deactivator. What do you guys think about a height? The string, just the pickup height for the string distance. Some people confuse pickup height with string distance, like the distance from the strings. That's when I say pickup height, that's really what I'm talking about. If you don't know how to get that, if you've never tried getting your own, doing your own, adjusting your own pickup height, I would highly suggest that you look into it, because you may have bought a guitar, even if you bought it used, where the pickup heights were messed with and not perfectly where they should be. You could get a bad vibe from a guitar that way as well. You could also be like some people, and they think that everything is like adjusting an EMG, where you've got to have everything that close to the strings. That's in fact not the case. So yeah, So we got in your comments. I've got 6 of the hybrid ones they sent me. I'm going to check them out right now. That's cool. I'm actually really interested. I might have to reach out to Quantum DSP. And if you're liking it, I will take your word for it because you like some pretty heavy stuff. But that being said, I am going to try them prior to streaming with them because I usually will not. Again, we back to the trust thing, right? I don't know Quantum DSP. I've never used anything. If it was Neural DSP, or Polychrome DSP, I could go into a stream completely blind on that product and know that I'm not going to make myself look like an asshole and I'm not going to make the company look bad by saying I don't really like this. You know what I mean? I trust that I won't I won't get blindsided. But whereas if I've never heard of a company or I've never used any of their stuff, I really want to make sure that I try it ahead of time. I don't want that first impression, if it's bad, to be recorded in front of an audience, and it would be bad for everybody, really. So I am using we're going to go on. I've got a pretty decent tone here. We're going to just kind of go with some of the blends that they've got first. That sounds pretty good. Now I'm going to get a good tone with all 3 of these now. So we can try this out with all 3 plugins. You can always hear when there's Volbeat playing somewhere. And you always know if you're listening to Volbeat the second you hear that dude's voice. Definitely falls under a singer. Like there are singers that are definitely, I can admit that there are some singers out there that are an acquired taste. And in this case, I like his voice, but some other people do not like this voice at all. Why am I making so much noise here? That's why. All right, let's... All right, so what are you guys thinking about the IR so far? Do you guys find that the DV77 is kind of a dark speaker? I'm curious. I was supposed to look and make sure I had the F-Man installed for Tomas, as I know he would like me to try it out. Okay, let's get some tones here. Why did I feel like I lost the chat again? Sorry, guys. If I did lose the chat, it happens every once in a while. Yep, I definitely lost the chat. Holy shit, did I ever lose the chat? Wow. Once in a while, I notice the chat just freezes, and I've got to jump back in. Okay, let me catch up. I found those Atlas IRs to be cool for blending. Nice. We were talking about the Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm lurking. Jonathan Carlson. Hey, no. Absolutely not, Jonathan. I don't like that kind of talk. And I never, ever I never, ever want anybody that's a beginner or intermediate user or anybody whatsoever to hold back from chiming in on our chat and just asking questions or anything they'd like. Every single member of this team was once upon a time a beginner. We remember what it was like to be a beginner. We remember what it was like to not really have a place like this, because most of us started a really long time ago where beginners basically just went to the Le Poo forum, get cat hair, and asked around or fumbled around in the dark, or we all had one friend that was really good at doing this kind of stuff. So, man, Jonathan, thanks for saying hello. I really appreciate it. Please do never, ever hold back from saying something or chiming in or jumping into the chat and just being part of the show, man. That's all we're here for. We're here for you. And we really enjoy just people just chatting. If you have questions for me, questions for any of the staff, we have a couple staffers. We have a bunch of staffers in here today. So please do ask your questions. And if there's anything that you're curious about, or if you want me to try something out, please never hesitate. I just got the dead horse because of the hype from this channel. I don't know why, but it spiked my computer like a son of a bitch. Ended up uninstalling and installing again. Did that fix the problem? I mean, please don't ever buy anything because I've hyped it. Try it out first, right? Always try things. Don't just go blindly buy something because we said it's cool. Everybody, we all got different ears, right? And when I say something's cool, the main reason I think this is cool is because I had it for years. I pleaded with a couple of different developers to do this thing that Wavemind ended up doing, and there was like, oh, maybe I could do them, but I don't want to license them. It's pedals, you know? And I'm like, no, not going to do that. So I'm really glad that this happened, because this is my second favorite overdrive pedal of all time. My first favorite has not been done. The Way Huge, the Dunlop version of the Way Huge Green Rhino. I hope someday, and if I have my way, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to get someone a bit to make it. I'm going to do it. Let me turn my voice up a little bit. A little bit more crisp there. Nice. So I really I appreciate you going to check it out, though. I hope that reinstall helped out. Inside this, however, we have a nice overdrive pedal, but yeah, we can use the dead horse as well. Yeah, that sounds good too, but I'm just going to stick with the overdrive that's inside the suite. In this case, whoops. Were they both active there for a second? That sounds great. The mid boost is intriguing because I can 100% see that appeal of the real pedal, but don't see the use of a plugin when I can just use another preset sound. Hey, that's cool. I understand. Totally. I totally understand. For me, I think it's more about wiring that sound in and then just using that tone for my lead. That's where the mid boost comes in. I agree that it's not, it might not be the most, it's versatile, but it might not necessarily be as versatile and useful as like the dead horse. It's a bit of a different bird. The monster fuzz is redonkulous. Redonkulous. That thing is just, it's awesome. It's one of my favorite fuzz plugins immediately. All right, let's continue. Did that fix it, Kyle? I'm also wondering if that fixed it, Kyle. Mid boost. Yeah, it is just another way to juice up the front end, and just a way that you may or may not like. That's okay. Yes, kind of dark. Yeah, I would agree. These IRs definitely super dark. The Slipknot. Yeah, you're right. Xander Bananas. Elmyrus, nice to see you. I did upgrade. They were nice enough to offer me the upgrade to THU2. I understand that there are some people that don't like it, that don't like that you're paying for... Again, now my voice sounds annoying now. La 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 la. Checkity check check. Magoo. All right. Testicles. It's a great word to test a mic. Try it out sometimes. I understand why people might not like it. Oh, I'm not going to pay $30 for a graphic upgrade. I get it. I understand why some people are like, man, that... Some people are just like, bah, I'm not going to do it. And that's okay. Don't do it. But when a company adds a really nice new UI that makes everything look more crisp and adds a nicer workflow, and if they've fixed some things here and there, small things to make the workflow a little better, I'm not mad at it. I'm really not mad at a $30 upgrade. I'm really not mad at it. $30 and you get, just be sure to look into what the differences are first. Because some people, if you don't care about the looks, it might not be. And if you already like the THU workflow, you're fine. Don't worry about it too much. You'll be all right. Samuel, hey buddy, they wanted to see you, and here you are. How's it going, dude? Ladies and gentlemen, this is our blind cat, Sam. He has been a special friend of this channel for a long time, and our previous channel as well. And everybody that knows me knows that I have a blind cat named Sam, aka Samuel is his actual name, but so we call him Sam or Samuel. And where are you going? And this cat is more amazing than you'd ever imagine. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of people think blind cats just like sit in a corner all day and go, where is everything happening around me? This guy does not let anything stop him whatsoever. As you can see, he wants some love right now. I'm just going to put him on the window because I know he probably wants to chill. Want to go? Ready, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3. And over he goes. Seuss in the house. So Myris, again, nice to see you. Charlie Crease, what's up, dude? Old school in the house. Wait, I got a way huge camel toe a few days ago. I'm going to leave that alone. I actually don't know what is that pedal. Would have normally demoed it, but it's so cheap, I figured I'd give it a shot. Plus, dig Wavemind stuff. Hey, man. And if you've tested their freebie effects and you know those are pretty solid, you know these are going to be solid as well. Big update coming for the Rev, though, for those of you that are curious. Not biblical. Samuel was just a solid, being that he's, if you look it up, or at least I looked it up, and Samuel is known as the blind god. And he's blind and was born blind and he has no eyes. So that's the way we went with it. We call him Sam. Or Sammy Stinker Pants. Okay, we're finally going to get to the IR portion of our stream. We're gonna keep going smooth, aggressive. I want to try a few of these blends. Oh, Daddy found the good one, the good one right here. Dude, got a new tuner, guys, and it is fantastic. Check this thing out. It's accurate. It's quick. It doesn't fuck around. It's got big bright things for this old dude's fucking eyes. I got some old ass eyes, and they're getting worse by the day. My eye doctor did tell me though. He's like, you're right on the cusp of needing progressives, and that was 2 or 3 years ago now. I know I need progressives, and I don't want them. I don't like the, I don't want the line, and I don't like the drunk effect of looking down into the other ones. I think I'm just gonna go it with like a set of cheaters, or occasionally just take my glasses off to see things. Do the old guy thing for a bit and fight it until it's an absolute necessity, and I need it. So. We were just watching. Oh, Kiki was a little bit slower of those. Oh, wow. Oh, come on, Kiki. Come on, Kiki. Wow. We just watched it like a week ago. We just watched. I had to. I get in this frame of mind once in a while where I just need to to watch the CKYs, all the seasons of Jackass, all the seasons of Viva La Bam, and we do it. We do it once every couple of years. We just do it, and it makes me feel good because that point in my life was good. Back in those, man, it was back in the day, man. With that, I think that's what we were at our prime at that point. Oh, Kiki, want to go to Times Square? Wow! Come on, give you a little bit of Shrewsbury Stuver. This is one of the best sounding IRs I've ever fucking heard, and it's going right into my favorites so that you guys aren't inundated constantly with the EGA 412 Hyper-Real 414 Real Mix. Hyper-Real Mix. You got to go get it. If you've never been over to Dr. Bonker, Dr. fucking Bonkers, that's where we're going next. Actually, I'm going to stay inside here. We're going to go with the old school, one of the greatest IR packs of all time, in my opinion, the Mega Oversize from ML Sound Lab. Now, ML Sound Lab is a company that, man, their IRs, Miko's IRs are incredible. They really are. I like them. I actually love. I'm going to go and say I love them. That's how much I enjoy his IRs. However, his plugins, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it sounds so good. There's something about a PV5150 through a Mesa oversized cabinet with a tube screamer in front of it that just, you know, that was like everyone's rig for a long time in the metalcore. It was like you had the green box in front, random green box of your choice. You had the rectifier or the 5150, and either way, they were both going to be, if you had the rig, it was going through a Mesa oversized cabinet. It just, the way things worked back in, for a short... No! Monica! All right, I'm going to get that before one of the boys does. And I know you guys will do it. Don't laugh at the back of my chair. Why? Because I let him do it. I let my cat scratch this if he wants to. Why? Because I know I can go get another $40 office hotel room special off of any. There's an office supply store here with these that sells these chairs for like $30. They're comfortable as fuck. They have no arms on them that I have to rip off for playing guitar. I can sit how I want. The cats can rip the shit out of it. When I'm done, I can throw it out the door and start anew, as opposed to going and buying one of those goofy ass gamer thrones that you see like in the stereotypical streamer kid setup, where it's like this giant horrible looking race car chair that looks like you look like a baby that should be strapped in with like an 8-point harness or something. Like, it's silly. If my cat was to scratch that, I would cry, because those things cost like $1,000. You know what? I know you're gonna get me in trouble. That's not my real singing voice. You're gonna get me in trouble. All right. You want to get into it? I'm an honest guy. I don't give a fuck. Fight me, Miko. I'm just kidding. I know that Miko at least one point was saying that there's no processing done to his IRs whatsoever. Blends are a different story. There's always something going on with blends. There might be a little taste of this or that, and there, obviously there's multiple mics and everything else. So I really, really don't know what's going on, and I don't really fucking care what's going on under the hood of a blend. That being said, when it comes to the single mic mixes, I know that he says that, or at least at one point claimed there was no doctoring whatsoever done to these files. That being said, I don't know. I don't know where he shoots his IRs. I don't know anything about his setup, anything like that. I don't know. So I know he says no, but I know I've heard of a couple other people say, well, that's very suspect. That being said, I really don't. With IRs, I don't really care that much if they're doctored. It depends on the sound. If I don't like the sound and I think there's something with the sound I don't like, well, then I don't use them. And I certainly don't promote them either. That being, again, going back, when it comes to blends, I do tend to reach for blends when I'm just promoting a pack. And if we're going old school, then I'll make my own blends. I love making my own blends. Always have, always will. And you should too, because even though there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 there's a whole bunch of blends right here. These might not be what you might make. You might take this file, you might take the 58D, you might take the 421A, put them together and make your own blend, right? None of those blends might be your thing, but these are usually blends are a pretty good way of getting a good idea of what the pack can do. So that's kind of what I like. Which IR is what? Hold on. What do we got here? What tuner did I end up getting? It's a D'Addario something. Doesn't have a name on it. I did the reviews though. I did look it up, and this particular model was very highly rated, well reviewed. So I know they had it at my local guitar store, and it was $20. I am still really tempted to go and buy the Peterson strobe because I love Peterson tuners and they're awesome. But I think if I was to buy a Peterson tuner, I don't know that I would go with a clip-on, because I think that the clip-on is the portion of the tuner that tends to be just the tiniest smidges pinch inaccurate from time to time, apart from just plugging into a tuner. And I think that with the strength of Peterson tuners, strobe tuners, comes from the big ends that you plug right into. I was really considering maybe getting a Boss TU. But then I realized I'd be always constantly like looking at this or that. Like it's just fine to have that on there. And I do have another tuner for when I need to, get a little more surgical on things. I will plug right in. So I try to find Dr. Bonkers, but I can't find really Dr. Bonkers Sound Lab? For reals? I wouldn't care either if the guy says one thing but doing another, but then I can't. Yeah, you got it. But heading into speech, have a great day. Have a great rest of your stream. Thanks so much, Bo. A lot of love there, buddy. Thank you so much. Bo and myself and Eddie and Chris are working on a project that I can't wait to tell people about. Look at me. I'm dancing like a kid. 46 years old. 46 years old. Never kissed a girl. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, holy shit, this is a good tone. Oh, I like it. This is the Ampcraft 1992 from Kazrog, along with the ML Sound Lab Mega OS infamous blend. Gosh. And I have nothing else going on in the chain, guys. You might see the denoiser, but that is there for the protection of my ears and the safety of this stream. Let's just say that. Did you guys hear the new Black Label Society song? How the fuck is that guy making new material with Black Label Society? And how the fuck is he going to tour it while also playing 9 shows a week with Pantera? I'm not kidding. Not 9 shows a week, but they're touring like crazy. Those guys are touring like crazy, and I'm all about it. Why doesn't Zakk Wylde have a plugin yet? For fuck's sakes. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have reached out to Zakk Wylde's people a couple of times just because I had a couple of developers that were like, what if? I'm like, man, you're going to need somebody with way more juice to get through to that guy. Yeah. In any event, that dude needs a plugin. Can you imagine a Zakk Wylde, like, suite style plugin that did the Zakk Wylde, the full... Oh, you know, if any company could do that at this point, it would be SoftTube. SoftTube. I'm going to send Stefan a message. Stefan? I don't know. I'm going to send him a message. Because I think they've still got the Marshall license. I'm sorry, what did you just say? Your brothers in Power Trip? For realsies? See ya, Bo, by the way. If you buy a Peterson, go with the old flip-out one that looks like an old gaming console. Dude, I toured with a band, and the main tech for the guitars had his own like tech rig, and his tech rig had a Peterson strobe in it. And man, it was just like, that thing is a trip. As a thing, those old things are a trip. And if you try to go buy one right now, good fucking luck. Good luck. Doesn't have time. I think you guys are misunderstanding how much time is involved from the artist. The artist's point of view with a signature suite. Let me explain to you guys. I'll do a video on this, exactly how the whole thing sets up. But for the most part, an artist at this, like the size of Zakk Wylde, the developer would very likely not be dealing with Zakk at all. The developer would likely be dealing with his tech or his, very likely his tech, and it wouldn't be not Grady Champion. Although Grady Champion did get behind the Dime expansion for Amplitude, I don't think that would be of interest. I think that with Zakk Wylde, I really think that he is going to go with, like, it'll be a bigger company. I think it would be a lot of fun, but who knows though. But it's, as far as the I'm just looking back. As far as the actual time commitment, it's not a lot. It's speaking with the artist, finding out what they want in the plugin, and then the developer gets to work on that. And then what do you want it to look like? Do you want it to look real, like all the real gear? Do you want anything stylized? Do you want your album artwork somewhere mixed in? Do you want your signature on things? What are we doing? Is it licensed? Obviously, is it licensed? Is it not licensed? I know a lot of Zakk Wylde is making a lot of his own pedals now as well. So it really depends on what's licensed, what's not. But then the artist would choose what's going in. You figure that out. You put it all together. You send it to the artist. At what point the artist would would say, this sounds to this, sounds to that. They'll send you back a list of notes, or they might just say, fuck yeah, this rips. And then you're pretty much good. The artist at that point has to do a few videos, a few pieces of content for release. Usually they pass it around to some of their friends and just to try to kind of goose the release as well. That's a typical outlook of how things go for a signature plugin. It's really not a lot of work on the artist's point of view. However, it can be more involved if the artist wants to be more involved, wants regular betas sent their way for all the different improvements. I've run into that as well. And that is, basically artists that do have the time. Okay. I'm just trying to explain how things might work in that sense. I don't think Zakk Wylde would make his own. Oh, wait, didn't he though? Is there, hey, Eddie, Is there not a Zach Wild amp right now, though? Did we not hear about something like that? I remember, man, maybe I was just cooked. I don't know. Guys, I'm going to take a break in about 5 minutes here. I know we haven't gotten a lot of packs through here, but we're going to be on here for a long time today. We're also trying to celebrate the snow. Why are we trying to celebrate the snow? And I'll tell you why. We're supposed to get a huge snowstorm tonight. And if we do get that snowstorm, there's a realistic shot that I don't have to work tomorrow and then I could actually come in, do some streaming and hanging out. So let's all cross our fingers that we get this mad storm that we're supposed to get. And then my day tomorrow will be freed up. This is my hope. This is my hope. God, do I love the DiMarzio deactivator. God, do I love this pickup, guys. This is one of my favorite bridge pickups of all time. And it's matched with one of my favorite neck pickups of all time. So I'm not going to be doing much neck pickupping today, but it's fun nonetheless. Now let's try to throw True Iron in. I know I've left it in here for a reason. Let's check it out for a sec. So without. And with. And if you're curious, Kazrog also does True Iron, and this is a fun way to add some beef to your guitar tracks and anything. Anything you need to add beef to in your mix, including the mix itself on your master. Check out Kazrog True Iron. Thanks so much to Kazrog for letting me check that out years ago. It has come in very handy. I've used it on pretty much, every mix that I've done since I got it. This thing is invaluable. So if you check it out, it'll add weight and more warmth and punch and everything. You can do a lot with it. Check it out ASAP. Isn't Zach making his own amps? Did I lose the chat again? Fuck, I think I lost it again. Yep, sure can. Can we try something Marshall or Friedman-y? Yeah, you're goddamn right. You're goddamn right we can. Let's do it. How about this? This is the MRH 810, one of my favorite Marshall plugins ever. I love this. Love it. I'm gonna turn this off. Bypass. See ya. See what we got here. Okay, let me get this juiced up. Get out of here. Is True Iron still there? It is not. It can be, though. Let's do it. If you wanted a more like rock tone, probably not happening through this rig. I could also try it with the JMP Pro. That could definitely happen if you would prefer that over the MRH 810, aka the JCM 2210. This thing, aka also the amp that like Tom Morello's amp as well was the 22. Was it the 2205? No, that's what was it? What was Tom Morello's? He used the 50 watt version of this. Did he not? Yeah. Anyways, this thing's a monster, especially when you go to the clean tone and you just rage everything up there, and you can get a really nice like stanky AC/DC kind of just filthy, grimy kind of tone. And this is just not the instrument to get that tone with. So no can do. STL is going to release a Friedman BE next month. You sure are. And you know goddamn right that I'm going to be right there for you. JMP with an HM2. I suppose I could bring in an HM2. I don't need JMP Pro. No, I'm just going to use this amp, but we're going to bring in the heavy pedal. Oh, that was a terrible idea. I almost made a lot of noise there. I almost made a whole bunch of noise. Heads up. All right. Let's just... Yeah. Now we're going to bring the gain back on this just a little bit. Let's see what we got. Nope. Not the right pickups for the HM2 either. If I'm going to use HM2, there's a few different pickups that I really like. I love me an EMG and an HM2. Those pickups and the HM2 were made for each other. DB Quattro, yeah, we're going to check out a DB Quattro in a stream probably this weekend or during the March break. My March break starts in a couple weeks. And guys, I am going to be here as with every other break. I will be here every single day with a stream for you guys. And I'm also going to be working on our pre-recorded content, which I'm finally able to work on. Got the Tempest, working on content as we speak. And guys, I can't wait. Can't wait to put it out there. And like I said, though, we've gone through a few different variations, and I had done a bunch of videos, didn't like them, deleted everything, got started again because I realized the format wasn't really going to play out long term. Just a few different things. I want to stay semi-uniform. I want people to know what they're getting in almost every one of these different canned themes that I have. So the only thing is, the only BE plugin that's out there, it sucks. No, I mean, I've said this directly to the man that coded and programmed it. So if you're out there and you're like, man, that was kind of harsh. Yeah, I said it right to the person that built it. I said, I don't know what you were doing with that one because it sounds like there's a blanket over it. And it's the BrainWorks licensed BE is literally the poster child for licensed not always being the best. I used to use the first Mesa Boogie Amplitude 3. I used to use that as my example because that was horrible. And before they did a bunch of overhauling, it was bad. It wasn't good at all. But the licensed Friedman BE 100 or is it HBE or the BE? Can't remember. That one is really bad, guys. It's not good. I just telling you, it's not good. And it sounds like you can turn all the brightness controls and you can turn all the top end controls right through the roof. Turn them all up. Go ahead. Use the brightest R you could find and it's still going to sound like this. I forgot there's no tone knob in this guitar. It's just a dud. I forgot. In any event, turn your tone knob down about 40%, and that's what the plugin sounds like. it sounds like someone rolled the tone off. It's not good. Even when you use your own IRs, it's not the IRs. It's the modeling is just not good. Don't like saying that in a stream. Don't like doing it. Why? It's just kind of a dick move. But on the other side of that, Brainworks has made a bajillion amazing products. And to only have one single product be a bit of a dud, who fucking cares? You look at, I mean, who cares? And there's not one plugin developer out there that really should care about one sort of not great plugin in a sea of absolute studs and bangers, right? So, like, I don't know. Oh my gosh, it's filth. The BE Helix Native is pretty good, but I like... Yeah, you're right. It is pretty good. Everything in Helix Native is pretty good. That's where I would say nothing in Helix Native is like the greatest thing. It's not going to be the greatest thing you've ever heard, but it's all really, really good. Everything inside Helix Native. If you don't own it already, if you can get it at that really cash money $200 sale price, they always put it on for like 50% or 60% off. If you ever see Line 6 blowing out Line 6 Helix Native, go and get it because you will not regret it. Is it expensive? Sure it is. Just nix the next two premium plugins you were going to buy at full price, buy those later at sale price. Boom, you got Helix Native, and it's got about 4,000 components, not actual component count. It's got what seems to be an infinite amount of really freaking good sounding stuff in there. So yeah, dude, that it's unreal. Now try Omer Hammer Friedman M25 Cat Pack, the first on my list when I get back from my break, my friend. I am going to take a quick 2 or 3 minute break, and I will be back at you guys. We're going to hopefully get through some more cabinets in here. We've only gone through 2. But we've also done a lot of talking. I'll probably change the name of the stream after because we're just kind of poking around, talking about the industry as well, which is great. Happy to answer questions. You know we like to ramble and talk around here. It just is what it is, and it's a lot of fun to chat with you guys. So sorry we get carried away. I promise, second half of the stream, going to be more IRs and less chatter. Okay? Not sure why I use that voice. Just comes on once in a while. So guys, I can't wait. I'll come back. If you guys put them in the chat, if there are specific libraries that you'd like to hear or check out, me to check out, let me know. If I have it in not installed, but if I have it on, in my collection, I will definitely try it in stream. But if I don't, then I will put it on my list over here to my left and see what I can do about getting my hands on it, because I always like when people recommend amazing things to me that I've never tried. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Tyler. Welcome to the AMP Sim Show. We will be back for the second half after a quick break. Thank you for being here. Cheers. I'm covering this song as part of my my little cover project that I'm going to be doing some Canadian covers for fun, and using it as developer content as well at the same time. It should be fun. I'm really excited about doing it. It's one of the songs I want to do real bad. Here's the next one I'm going to do. If you've ever heard of the song Sign of the Gypsy Queen by April Wine, it's a fun song, and it's going to be... they're not all going to be metal either. I'm just going to choose a different genre other than the one the song is in. I'm just going to choose it, and I'm going to do it in my own way. Just like I did with, if you guys have heard, I know I showed a few of you the Skullverizer demo. If you've heard the Skullverizer demo, then you'll have heard a couple of covers that I kind of just made my own. Tea Party and Finger 11, as well as a Triumph. Lay it on the line. And it's on this list. We'll listen to it at some point. I'm intending on doing this one in a Doom, almost like a Monolord parody. It's gonna be half time. I think these vocals will actually be really, really great to be sung in that super over-affected Monolord way. Very excited about that. So anyways, that's gonna be on in the background. And guys, looking forward to making some music again. I often, when I sit in this seat, it's usually just for work / the hobby business here. And it's been nice to like sit in this seat and record some stuff again. It's been a little bit. So yeah, anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let's go over to that one that Thomas was hoping for. We're going to go to Own the Hammer. Now, if you guys have a particular developer that you'd like me to check out, let me know. Do I have the F-Man? I do have the F-Man right above. Oh, look at that. Let's go to the screen. Pardon me. If you go and you check this out, it's right above my favorite Own Hammer library of all time, the Mar Lynch. The 412 Mar Lynch is a goddamn beast. So if they still sell it, do they still sell it? Because I know the F-Man, I hate showcasing stuff you guys can't go purchase yourself. So I didn't really want to do this, and I told Thomas I wasn't sure about doing it, but we're going to do it. So which blend am I looking for here? Mix 3, the M25. M25 what? There's a bunch of M20. Oh, I see. Wait. I'm just looking at what he said for the file here. Who doesn't like Led Zeppelin? I don't like Led Zeppelin because I hate Robert Plant's voice. If Led Zeppelin had a different singer, I would probably, if like you put, obviously different period wouldn't be impossible. But if you're thinking in the period, I could think of a whole bunch of singers I would much rather have sung for Led Zeppelin. The reason I don't like Led Zeppelin is because Robert Plant is the only thing I don't like about Led Zeppelin, because he makes their music very difficult to listen to. Because he sounds like an asshole. He sounds like an asshole, and that's just me. I hate Robert Plant. Love John Bonham. Love Jimmy Page. Slopperific, but without Jimmy Page, thered be no Slash. He was sloppy, but very, very technical at the same time. It was really strange, almost this drunken master kind of style. John Paul Jones, one of the best and most loyal and reliable bass players of all time. But Robert Plant, good God. Okay, what are we looking at here? I'm just looking through here, guys. Sorry. Mix. Oh, geez. Which file am I going to? The B or the M? I see M25 here, bud, but I don't see what you're asking me for here precisely. This is the one thing about the Own Hammer libraries, if that some people don't like, and that it's crazy that they don't like it, but some people don't like this amount of options. Yeah, dude, moaning with the delay and the verb and just like whole portions of songs where like the producer and the band are just standing by while this asshole stands in the mic, in the vocal booth, just going, and then someone's like signing off like, that sounds fucking good, man. Like, you know how high and wasted they must have been. I just hate his voice. There's just some bands, like I've heard people say it about Cradle Filth, even though I like Danny Filth's voice. I understand when people don't like it, but I like it. But I've heard people say about Cradle Filth, if that band had a fucking just any other singer in the whole world, I would probably dig them. Name that band for you guys. Name the band that you hate only because of the singer, and 100% only because of the singer. I used to say that about Limp Bizkit, and then I came to terms with the fact that Fred Durst is not a vocalist. He's a hype man, but he did what he did really well. I cannot. You look at him now. He's wearing crazy outfits on stage. He's doing it with gray hair. I fucking love it. Okay, I absolutely love what Limp Bizkit is doing with their career right now. Right now, I love it. M25M. Okay, cool, thanks. Now I can go. Mixes. Own Hammer 1. At OHF3. OH1F. There's a few of those too, dude. Nevermore. Okay, guys, conspiracy theory. Conspiracies. I like conspiracies. Conspiracy theory. Brandon Ellis left the Black Dahlia murder to play in Nevermore. Ah, conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. I love them. Let's put on the tinfoil hats. Let's do that. Pantera for racist reasons. That's fine. You're entitled to that. You're absolutely entitled to that. No problem. But let's not get there. Let's not get too dark and crazy there. Although, good point. We are talking about the band that had Confederate flag. There is a large portion of a certain generation in a certain country that actually believes the Confederate flag was the part of the Pantera logo because they don't know their history. And let's not go there. We're talking about the sound of of a singer. Okay, the sound of a singer that ruins a band for you. Go. Dream Theater, fucking right on. I can't listen to Dream Theater for an abundance of reasons, but yes, I absolutely loathe James LaBrie's voice. I cannot listen to it. He's a great singer. I can't say anything about it. He's a fucking phenomenal singer. Although at this point in his career, he's starting to slip a bit. I think I saw some videos where people are like saying he didn't know the words or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's go back. Okay, any of them. Thank you. We got there, Thomas. OH1F. There. Okay, OH1F. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, buddy, that is sounding pretty nice. Definitely the brightest pack that we've used today. What? Brandon and Jeff would be like Marty Freeman and Jason Becker in Cacophony. Fucking right. You see that band? Going back and look up, there were 3 guitar players in that band, by the way. Were there not? Didn't Cacophony have 3 guitar players? Or maybe be like having Bruce Bullet. Fucker. Be like having Bruce Boulez and Paul Gilbert in Racer X. Precisely what it's like. We may have to take a quick stream break for me to deal with an animal problem. I have the mic here. Mute me for a sec here, folks. Hold up. I just had to say, get down to an animal. And he was like, yeah, I know. He just left the room. You're gonna like when you tell a cat to get down. Like, our cats know what get down means, and it's the look they give you for a second, like, like, get down. The first time they look at you, like, the fuck? You, me? Fine. Talking to me like that? All right, let's keep him going, guy. Yeah, dude, this is gonna go into my. I've been looking for some stuff for my favorites folder, because I just really haven't been populating it as much as I had hoped. And here we are. Now I'm needing to fill it up. Yes, Tyler. How's your email? Okay, sorry. Hold on. What am I missing here? Yeah. Well, there's Tone Hunt too, dude. Mate, don't forget to tell him. Don't forget to tell him about Tone Hunt. In the meantime, you can go to Tone Hunt and go to Sharface. Spell it for him, my man. And Tone Hunt, yeah, head over there and check it out. I don't generally like to do a lot of processing on the channel here. As far as high and low, I should and could be using a high and low pass filter in everything we do here. But that wouldn't be showing you guys what it sounds like. That's doctoring. I don't want to doctor it any more than I have to already with a little tiny bit of verb and the denoiser on the front. Why? Because I don't want you guys going into any product thinking, I heard it differently on this channel. What was he doing? I can't get it to sound exactly. I can't get it to sound as tight as I would like it. Well, it's yes, high and low pass filters are a given. You need to know how a high and low pass filter works. 100%. I would guarantee that. One could argue, yeah, that using a bit of true iron is also a bit of a, but it's not like I have it on all the time. And I'm showing you guys, this is true iron. Here's what it sounds like with, here's like what it sounds like without. I really just wouldn't want to put you guys in a situation where you just can't get it to sound as good as we get it to sound. And that would be unfortunate because I've been that guy before with, some positive and gritty type products. I've been there before. I know what that feels like, and it feels icky. And so I wouldn't want to be that guy, even though it's just a simple high and low pass filter. It does a lot. There's a lot to a simple high and low pass filter that really puts your guitar in its lane. If you're not processing or you're not mixing with a proper high and low pass filter, and they're not universal by any means, don't just park it, a preset, and throw it on there and be like, it's done. Don't do that, because you could be rounding off all sorts of things all over the place. Also get comfortable with what a shelf is as well, and how to do little small bumps and cuts. But if you're doing too much, apart from a high and low pass filter in your processing, if you're finding that in your EQ, you're having to scoop, and if you're having to you're working with all these really odd frequencies and removing all kinds of stuff, and you're doing little bumps, and then you need to work on your tone. You want to make it your tone so where you have to do as little work as possible in post. That's my philosophy anyways. Some might not agree with me, and that's okay. We're all friends. It's all good, bro. But I'm just saying that, yeah, there's not really one universal way to process a guitar track, apart from a high and low pass filters that are gonna be in the ballpark of where they're gonna be most of the time. But you're really gonna have to flex them out a little bit and kind of work with different guitars, different pickups, different tunings, different amps, different cabinets are all going to be dependent on that high and low pass filter of where things are going to be and where things are going to sound best. Again, disclaimer, I am not a professional mixing engineer, and I'm mostly full of shit when it comes to mixing because I use a very simple process. But high and low pass filters are really easy and are essential. Holy fuck. Definitely 100%. Wow, that is a fantastic set of IRs right there. And I'm going to tell you as with an absolution right now. Here's a couple of things that are going to help you out. Cheap studio monitors are nobody's friend. You might think I got a really good deal on these monitors, and I see a lot of those yellow cones that just because you see the yellow cones on those KRKs doesn't mean they're all using the lowest of the low quality. Sure, there are some nice KRKs, but for your money, I think honestly, Atom Audio is probably, or Yamaha, or probably the HS with the HS7s, or the Atom Audio. Was it AV7s? I can't remember the model name now. There are multiple good studio monitors you can get for a good price. Cheaping out on studio monitors is you might as well take everything else that you spent money on and just throw it right in the garbage. If the last thing in your chain and the way that you're mixing, if you're trying to mix with speakers that are rounding off frequencies all over the place, on the lower end on KRKs and the lower end monitors in general, they all round off frequencies. So if you're trying to mix without a full spectrum of frequencies, boy, oh boy, is it going to be tough. And then someone with listening to it on a set of speakers that does have a full range, they're going to hear it and go, what the fuck? Also, having your monitors aligned. Big thing. You look at a lot of videos, you see a lot of content creators, and you can just look at their videos and say, I know that those monitors aren't being used to mix anything. Because the monitors are like up here, they're pointed like this, and they're facing straight. You need to do a proper alignment, and everything has to be phased. And I'm not an expert. The search bar up here is the expert. Okay, there's a lot of things that could be completely destroying your quality. And what I'm saying by that is you could be hearing things and then mixing and making all these cuts and these aggressive moves in EQ. And it could be because you've got low end pickups that are producing these awful signals. You're like, what's the difference between good and bad pickups? Well, these properly designed and good, well-designed pickups aren't going to give you all those harsh frequencies that aren't supposed to be there. It's not going to give you that bloated low end that's not supposed to be there. It's not going to give you that ice picky, not in a good way, top end that's not supposed to be there. And that again is, if you're using those pickups and you're trying to make all these moves in EQs, how much time are you spending on that? Are you spending hours and hours and hours and hours trying to EQ to get things to sound good? I know of a particular content creator right now who is way up here that I've had this battle with over the years. And he's showing me all these cuts and things that he's doing with EQ. I'm like, man, you could just take all that work out if you got yourself a set of EMGs or a set of this or a set of that to replace that bullshit that's in right here. This could destroy your tone. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, just trying to pass some advice that there are a lot of components that need to come together. They don't all have to cost a lot of money, but they all have to come together. So good chat tonight, guys. Good chat. 12 people in here. It's nice to see all of you guys. By the way, once again, if you're just joining us or if you're lurking, my name is Tyler, and I'm just happy to be here with all you guys talking about super nerdy shit that is most people don't want to talk about. And it's crazy because there's a lot of people that use amp sims. And I think there's a lot of people that would probably enjoy our content. That being said, just find, wait a minute. I think I was on the wrong stream there, on the wrong playlist. No, we're good. Perfect. Headphones. Getting an open back set of headphones that is of decent quality. Those are going to be cheaper than monitors, but I think having a decent set of monitors, having these is essential as well, because your room, like this room, might sound like complete dog shit. So what I do is I mix at a very low volume with these monitors, and then over time, I will just, then I'll move to my headphones and I'll go back and forth and mix and master as I mix. So pretty easygoing stuff. I could, guys. I would love to show you my workflow, and this has so simple way I do my own mixes, but I would literally get destroyed by people, by all the people that all those professional mixing engineers that watched one episode of Nail the Mix and think that they're the smartest person in the universe. And they all are very vocal people, and I don't want to get destroyed for the way. That's just dumb. And am I self-conscious about it? No. Could it help you? Maybe, but it's nothing different than anybody else does. So let's go back to it. The F-Man is a win. If you guys have a particular IR developer that you want me to check out, I would love to check it out, and let me know. I've got a lot of stuff in here that I've got lots of stuff in here, guys. Sorry. Something keeps getting my attention, as my cat is trying to get my attention right now. He's doing a good job too. All right, I am gonna go with, man, if crazy if you go to like Eminence, they did like, I think it was all done. Eddie could help me with this. I think all the Eminence stuff, was it all done with a 112 ISO cube or something? Somebody said something about it all being done with a 112 ISO cube, and I wasn't really sure. I didn't look into it, but I think I've been pretty clear about the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about right now, so I'm asking. Just want to make sure that nobody thinks that I am actually saying it was all done with that. I'm actually asking. But nonetheless, if you're curious, Eminence has their own huge, massive list of stuff. They've got every one of their speakers. I think every single one of their speakers got an IR pack, a small but still pretty sick IR pack. Everything from, man, like, look at this list. Look at this list. Thank you so much to Eminence, by the way, for hooking me up. They're just like, yeah, just have it all, man. I'm like, what? Yeah. We want you to just like test it all out. Let us know what you think. And I did. Let's test their DB77. Linear Angry. Hold on. Oh, shit. That's cool. That's going to be out soon. I'm still not 100% sure that where I'm at with this pickup is exact. I think I need to do some more tweakings. If anybody thinks it sounds a little strange in one way or another, I'd be happy to, try to go up or down with it to see what works and what sounds good. Holy shit, this sounds good. Fat. Wow, that one just lost a whole bunch of sizzle, but that's okay, because I get what I want to do. What I want to do is a zoom, 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 and a boom. Just kidding. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Eminence, TV77. We're going to go to Fat, and I'm going to blend Fat and Angry. Gonna blend me fat and angry. Gonna blend me fat and angry. Oh! Sounds so good. D string sounds quiet and G string sounds too loud would raise the whole pieces on the D and low. And you're right. That was a great reference. Thank you. Do what I can. Fat and angry. I can't call myself fat anymore by any means. I did live life as a rather chubby fellow for a bit. As you can see, that is not currently the case. Now I can't keep it on, but it is what it is. Fat and angry sounds like something I used to be around dinner time. You see, I will try one small move. All right, one small move here real quick. Mop, mop. No. Gotta come back up. All right. That sounds pretty good. For now. Cab Lab? I've never tried Cab Lab. Not yet, Santa. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Don't forget Cab. I've never tried that one. You feel like checking out mine? Yeah, dude, I'm sorry about that. I do feel like checking that out right now, in fact. So the Eminence stuff is fucking sick. And if you're curious, man, they have lots. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. Cannabis Rex. Some of my favorites in this grouping. I love the Legends. Absolutely love me some Texas Heats. And if I'm going through this in rather a quick way, obviously the DV77 is sick. Mentioned the Cannabis Rex being pretty cool. Swamp Thing, also very cool. Lots of fun. So check out their entire IR line. Eddie's stuff before he was calling himself Sharface. I'm looking at 19. Which file am I looking at here, guy? Wow. Oh man, the file names are all too long. Oh, we're just gonna have to try them all. All right, cool. It's louder. I'm blending it accidentally with the fat though. And they seem to phase okay too. That was actually pretty decent. I gotta bring my low end back up. What am I looking for? I like 1909. That would be what, just obviously the 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this 9? Yeah, this is 9. Yeah, I can see why you'd like it. It's scooped. Mixing a little bit of that fat from the DV77. Total happy accident here. Whoa. That one's too loud, though. I didn't bring that one. I gotta even up my levels. I'm just, man, that's pretty awesome. I liked it on its own too, though. I'm gonna scoop it a bit more, though. Trying to remember some of my old riffs the other day, just so I could play more riffs instead of just like constantly riff salading. Occasionally I remember old riffs of mine. I'm not as fast as I used to be, though. I used to be just absolute lightning fast with trem picking and but durable. You know, I had like length to the situation. I could actually go on for some time. I'd drive. Then I had some issues I've had some serious issues with my wrist, and it just seems to be getting worse. I've broken it a couple times and sprained it once, one other time. And I've built up some wonderful ganglion cyst and some arthritis and other such things, tendonitis in the wrist. Superb, but hopefully get that figured out eventually. A lot of mids. Yeah, there is a lot of mids here. Hold on, what do you mean high K? 6K, yeah. No, that was not where I was supposed to be. Sorry, guy. I had rolled that off at some point and rolled it back and just forgotten to... That wasn't that long ago, though. That was probably only about, I don't know, maybe a week or two. Maybe not. Yeah, thanks for that. I rolled it off a bunch on that one stream and everybody lost their fucking minds and I rolled it back too much. Hey, come on now. No. It's just not a riff for me, man. That riff, I've tried it so many times. That riff is Riftonite for me, man. What is your Riftonite? What is your Riftonite? I have to know. That is one of my Riftonites, no matter, like, I will toot my own horn and say, I mean, you guys have seen it. I'm not that bad of a hybrid or alternate picker. Like, I'm okay with it. But that particular... I want to learn it so bad, too. And I actually got close where I actually had the runs where I was learning the... It's just the little... I had a lot of those because those sounded harder. I put time into those. And then, yeah. And then I just never... Yeah, dude. Sweeping and I have had lots of issues. At one point, can you get him to stop that, please? That's my riff tonight was definitely sweeping, and then I worked. So where like my sweeping is not that bad. I just don't do it in streams because even one off note in the sweeping and people are like, fuck. And I am definitely not a type to stream and sweep because, like, guys, my hands turn into concrete. All I can do is caveman riffs and the odd bit of chicken picking. Is that new? No, it's Lorna Shore. What is this? Is this on my list? I don't dislike them, but I'm not going to listen to them right now. I don't know. To me, Lorna Shore sounds like it's like. What do you guys think of Lorna Shore? For me, Lorna Shore, sick drummer, sick guitar player, monster singer, absolute monster singer. Dude's got cool curly hair too. Like that dude. Like I'll say this in a way like, you know that dude fucks, right? That dude's got cool hair, cool band, cool thing. Like that band is fun. But here's the problem. They have cool riffs too, cool parts. Problem is that every time I'm listening to a Lorna Shore song and I just start liking a portion of the song, it changes to something that's just like, what? What just happened? What we doing? We're in a... It was a fucking blast. Why is it all fucking... What happened? You know, you just... it's like... I have ADHD, but like not to that level. Not just yet. But yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think of skipping string arpeggios. Not a fan, but I don't hate them either. Yeah, it's like one of those bands that I didn't see that. I'm not agreeing with it. I didn't see it. Anyways, I get what you mean. I cannot say that word. If you've never heard of a band called Smothered, I'd argue they're the best HM2 band. The best band of the Swedish death metal. They are my favorite, well, we'll say it's Stockholm-style Swedish death metal band. Love that stuff. Fucking Smothered, man. Check them out. Dude, man, like, Paul Gilbert is my hero. He is, truthfully, one of my guitar heroes, like my all-time guitar heroes, Paul Gilbert. All-time. I would say nobody comes close for me. A lot of guitar players I really, really like. Modern guitar hero is Dave Davidson. I'm hoping somebody caught into that. My modern guitar hero is Dave Davidson. And my old school guitar heroes are like Paul Gilbert. I would say James Hetfield over Kirk Hammett because I was never a Kirk Hammett fan. Dave Mustaine as well. Marty Friedman. All these are all my heroes. Alex Skolnick, Eric Peterson. All those guys. Just like the rhythm players always got me more than the lead guys did though, and as you can see, I'm more of a rhythm guitar player myself. So, and then these days, another hero of mine is Brad Paisley. That dude is an absolute fucking monster. Johnny Highland. Then feel free. I agree. That is a cool ass guitar player, Eddie. I just forgot that I hadn't really played any guitar in the last couple of minutes. I've gotten comments like that. Dude, you should talk less, play more guitar. I get you. There's time for content like that. This is more of a geared chat, podcasty, get together, gathering. We just talk shit and I play guitar a little bit. Wow, another one of my favorite songs popped up on, and man, the playlist is banging today. You guys have heard me talk about Nightmare King by Battlesnake a lot of times, but man, hearing the song go, for those of you that say that, go back for a sec. For those of you that say that like Telecasters with no distortion can't be heavy, check this riff out for 1 second and then what they do to it to break it down. Sick riff, right? Then you go to this. And then they do like go into this crazy deep purple solo. Madness. And then they go into a full like, where is it? Where's the solo? You guys get to hear the solo too. Right here. Here we go. Wow. And then how they break it down though, right here. Here we go. Anyways, every time that song comes on, I have to show off that band because I don't know if they're not that big. And I would love it if more people loved Battlesnake, because who wouldn't listen to a band, or at least check out a band called Battlesnake? That's at 100% of the reason. The first time I saw the band Powerwolf on Metal Storm as their first album came out, I was like, who the fuck is that band? Went and checked them out and never left. That band is fun. Although, if I have to admit, getting a little predictable, but still, all of their albums are rad. And if you don't like Powerwolf, that's fine with me too. It's, again, another acquired taste band, as we've been talking about today. John 5. Oh man, I'm talking about, if I could inherit the guitar skill of any one single guitar player on earth, it would be John 5. Why? Because John 5 can play everything at a level of godliness. Country, metal, rock. I mean, anything that death metal. The guy, if that guy, you could put him in Rings of Saturn. If all of a sudden that dude, don't get me started. I opened that can and I'm sorry. We're going to back that up. Forget it. Now you take that guy and put him in any band, like you take him and put him in Archspire. We're going to go there instead. And I'll bet you if you give John 5 a year or less, that dude could be playing an 8-string and playing in Archspire. That guy is, I just would, if I could take it, if I could just like Highlander the guitar skills of the nearby guitar players. I can only do one. I would go see John 5, rob him of all his skill, and take it for myself. That would never happen. But still, another guy. Let's talk about another guy that we could definitely see a plugin coming out for John 5. That is another thing. I'm not sure why it doesn't exist, because he's actually a pretty accessible guy, if I'm not mistaken. It's amazing that he hasn't done one yet, because if I'm not mistaken, he was in some interview and said that he kind of thought amp modelers and stuff were pretty cool. So right on, man. Powerwolf is awesome. People keep adding strings and tuning down, but still sound like a soft-boiled egg because his riffs are weak. Yeah. And the other thing we've talked about a million times, you can tune your guitar down to F sharp. Yeah, go ahead. But if you don't have a bass octave that's holding down the guitar, if there isn't a bass that's holding down the low octave of your guitar, and you can't tune that bass low enough, you're weak. I'm sorry, but the heaviest tuning, I think, in my opinion, the heaviest low as you can get, and the heaviest you can get is like B flat. A gets, all right, A, we'll say A. A, getting below that is pushing it, I think, but you can still get a bass to sound great in A, and a guitar. That's about as low as you're going to go for me, though. But if I had my way, for the heaviest out there, I think that, honestly, I think C and B are real heavy tunings where you can still audibly hear everything. Nothing is too low. You don't need a subwoofer. Yeah, I know that there are some bass players that can tune down that low, but then you start to require the need for a subwoofer. Not everybody listening to your album is going to have one. And then we're back to the guitar sounding like, and you're also taking a lot of the low end out of the guitar, which is also very confusing to me. When you're already robbing your tone of the low end. It's very, very confusing. Let's move along, Eddie. This pack, I'm going to use it more. I see the guys. I just want to give you guys an idea. I haven't used a lot of this pack, and obviously I'm just sinking into it myself. But I'm going to tell you right now, power trip, buddy. Let's crank this up for our pal. As I tune up. If you guys aren't familiar with Power Trip, they're one of the very few modern thrash bands that is not predictable with a bouncing ball lyric. The bouncing ball. Fuck, this band rips. Rest in peace, though. New singer's rad, though. New singer's not bad. New singer's not bad. I feel like I know there's a bit of controversy with that. And I don't want to get that started because it might make even one of our members here might maybe feel a little uncomfortable. But at the saying it is that I do feel that bands should be able to carry on after a singer or after any member of the band, passes away. I do feel like bands should be able to carry on if they can, or at least be able to give it a shot. That's my way of feeling on it. If I passed away and I was in a band, I would definitely want my band to move along and to try to continue to be, creative together. That's my outlook. All right, so I'm gonna go to Dr. Bonkers here, and I know I always go through the same hype, the same EGA 412. So we're gonna go through one of my secret sauce. Here's what I like to do with when I want to brighten up my very favorite impulse response. So let's go back to my favorites and let's pick out. This is what I do here, because I've even heard a couple people come to me and say, that IR that you recommended is amazing, but it's a little on the dark side. Here's what we're gonna do for you. I'm gonna teach you how I get over that with the Aloha 106, and that is a 6-inch speaker in a tiny little radio. What looks to be, if you go to the Dr. Bonkers webpage, you go look up the Aloha 1x6, and it looks like an amp you'd see in someone, like a radio in someone's bathroom or something. It is not a big one, okay? But I'm gonna just show you here why I think it's pretty sick. So we're gonna take this Aloha, and we're gonna use we can choose any of these mixes that we'd like. Let's find the one that sounds the best to start with. Oops. What did I do? I got 2 IRs running? What's happening here? No? All right, that's just what I'm hearing. All right, we're gonna bring. Okay, so just giving me the fizz. Now I've got my EGA, which is over here. Okay. There's a pig nose sim. There is one that exists. And I know because it was the old Honest Amp sim. Vadim did it. And I'm going to ask Vadim for those plugins so I maybe can get them out there to people for somehow, some way. All right, now, so I'm going to start blending in the Aloha. And it's pretty cool. This is something where there's a darker IR I really like, and I want to add just a little sizzle to a mix. This is what I would reach for, is this guy right here. So all the way. What I do is I like to match it up. In that case, you heard where we started there. Now listen. That's not the right fizz. That's not the right blend. Again, maybe we're getting closer on that one. Nope. It also depends on how I want it to poke through a mix. If that's what I'm having trouble with, and I want to keep with that IR I'm using, I'll use the Aloha 106 here to just poke it through ever so slightly. We're going to go with the 42157, of course. Because of course we would. Fuck. This riff. Guys, if you've never heard Monolord and you haven't heard of Empress Rising, please go listen to it ASAP. I feel it's one of the heaviest songs ever made. And where the transition, where everything comes in off the long intro, and you're hearing this droning riff and that's lulling you to sleep, and then all of a sudden it's like... and it hits you, man, you got to check it out. That's Monolord, Empress Rising. Ooh, here'll be an interesting... I'm going to play a riff. If anybody gets this, they're going to win a prize. Deal? And I believe the lead is something like... No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try to learn a lead on... I used to know it. If you know that riff... Resonance just adds a bit of just beef, a little bit of low end. I don't usually use it either. I do use it in Libra though. When I'm using Libra and I'm making a blend, if there's one of the IRs just needs a tiny bit more low end to fit in, a little bit more oomph to fit in with the rest of the stuff in the blend I'm trying to make, I will actually just roll that resonance up just a tiny pinch and everything will just gel nicely. Sounds solid. Oh my God, don't even get me started. Dude, I work in a school. I've heard Baby Shark more times than you can even fucking imagine. You have no idea. You have no idea how deep into my psyche, my soul, my bones, that song is not just drilled into my mind or my ears. That song is drilled right into the foundation of who I am today. I've heard it thousands of times. I would tell you why, but it's just honestly, it's certain types of learners and it's a certain type of reward system. And there's a lot of kids that like that song. I'll just tell you that. Nah, really. Doesn't give me PTSD at all. Not really, because one thing about it is the one best thing about that song is it makes kids happy. And happy kids, man, happy kids are cool. When I work with, as mentioned, I work through schools in I work with mostly individuals with autism, and that song, I've seen it brings children nothing but joy, and that's awesome. That is awesome. Anything that brings anybody like intense joy, I'm all for it, man. I am all for it. And you know what would give me intense joy? If I get that snowstorm tonight and I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Whoa, yeah. That would be fucking amazing. I would love that. Let's just use the 1x6 by itself. Pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. This is a blend for the blends right here, and I do have this. I had it blended together. I had made my own blend. There's nothing wrong with making your own blends, by the way. I know someone had asked me, is it okay to make blends with with IRs that you've paid for? Yes, it's absolutely okay. And when it's not okay, trying to give those away online or sell them or putting them into plugins, for example. That is all super, super not a good idea unless you have like the full permission of said developers, which you probably don't. But yes, making your own blends, using them in you're in the privacy of your own home and the comfort of your projects and stuff like that, that's totally fine. Sharing them, also, no bueno. I know somebody had asked me that, and someone had offered that in a stream recently, and that is no bueno. Please don't share stuff that you've paid for. It does violate electronic user agreements. So appreciate you. These people work very hard and they don't make a lot of money. Honestly, IR developers, it's all a labor of love. None of them are buying mansions with this $16 a pop that they probably put like 100 hours into the, I'm not saying they put 100 hours into, oh no, yeah. Yeah. There'd be probably Eddie, what do you think? How many would you say there's 100 hours in an IR pack? I actually should probably go look that up. I should probably ask a few friends, what does the average IR pack take to shoot time-wise? And I'll be curious. I'm actually going to ask around to a few of my friends that shoot IRs, and we'll get a good conversation going on that in the future. It does. That small IR. But the thing I like about it is the teeth and the bite. Because on a dark IR, this Aloha is a weapon. And I thought it was bullshit too. Because Mike Sanasiero at Dr. Bonkers said to me, try this 106. Do you think I wanted to try it? No, I had no interest whatsoever in trying that when he offered me a bunch of his IRs. I had no interest in the world in trying the Aloha. But he's like, no, I'm going to give it to you. And I want you to try blending it with a few of my darker cabinets in the darker mixes. I want you to try it. I said, okay. So I created some of my own blends using the single mic mixes. And I also created some mixes with blend and blend. And wow. Okay, it was shocking. So it became kind of a secret weapon for me. Anytime I want guitar to poke through the mix just a tiny bit more in a nice way, I will usually use one of the files here in this Aloha. So now you know my secret weapon when it comes to metal guitar tones or even rock as well. But most of the time I use this for metal, which is the strangest thing. Because it's really just a little tiny, it's the tiniest, smallest little strange amp. But that is what I love about Dr. Bonkers, is that all of the cabinets, go look. Sure, he's got your factory and your standard staples, but go and look at the other stuff this dude has there. He takes chances. He goes and rents and buys cabs that are just madness. Who else would do the ADA cab, that little strange 212, the standing 212? There's a lot of cabs he's got over there that are just a lot of fun. So make sure you check out Dr. Fucking Bonkers. And that'll be it for me today, guys. We had a great time. This was one of the most fun streams I've done in recent memory. To be honest, this was a lot of fun. It was very relaxing. It's exactly what I needed after a shitty week. It's been a bit of a stressful week. I haven't wanted to stream at all. So sorry I haven't been on till today. But man, thank you so much for being part of a wonderful couple of hours here. We did maybe more talking than IR blending, but we also got to talking a lot about the process, a lot about different developers. And I think that's very important for the average Joe or Jane that's just coming into the AmpSim universe. And I say that as not us, but the AmpSim universe itself, the plugin universe. People coming in and just wanting to get the lay of the land. And when people start throwing around IRs this, IRs that, impulse responses, some people go, and I'm like, whoa. All it means is cabinets. Okay, don't freak out. All it means is cabinet. Shh, digital cabinets. And that, because it can be for someone that's never used this stuff before and doesn't know how to use it, it can be a lot to just tell them, yeah, start getting into IRs, start getting into this, start getting into that. And then they start looking into it and they're oh boy, I don't know what this is just crazy. I'm just going to go back to my practice amps in my bedroom. Fuck this plug-in shit. And I've had a lot of that happen. Okay, but stick with it. If you know somebody that's struggling, bring them on in here. We will help. If you don't know how to help them, and if you know how to help them, just get them through. It might be annoying, and let's be honest, they will ask you a lot of questions that might seem a little bit on the side, but it's okay because we all remember once again when we were beginners, and IRs are not an easy thing to start dealing with. But once you get the hang of it, there are a lot of people that don't want to use IRs. They don't. No, I'm just going to use I'm not going to think outside of my plugin suites. I'm going to use what they gave me, and that's it. That's no problem. But for when you want to customize your tone just a little extra bit on top of that, then yeah, IRs are going to be the flavor. And let's be honest, there's some times where you buy a plugin and it's got an amp in it and you're like, Jesus, this amp would be way better with an angle. But all they're giving me is a Mesa and a Marshall. But I'm just dying to try this amp with an angle plugin. An angle cabinet. Well, there are a metric ton of ways to do that from a bunch of different developers who have wonderful angle IRs that you could start trying there. They might even, and it's funny because you can get really specific inside you can get down any cabinet you can ever imagine, any speaker you can ever imagine. It exists. I can promise you, it very likely exists. And it won't take long to find it. Just type it right into Google for your favorite cabinet, impulse response, and you will get tons and tons of search results. Unless it's something really, really niche, you might only find one developer that did it 5 or 6 years ago. But guess what? 5 or 6 year old IRs doesn't mean shit. We're not talking about technology in the same way. Older IRs still hold up just fine. Okay, guys? So thank you again. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for being part of the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I will be here a whole bunch this weekend. Unsure about tomorrow. But this weekend, you can count on it. Next week, unsure. But then again, that March break, I am planning to be on here doing some contests. Maybe with Membrini Audio. Because they got some new plugins over there. And so we'll see. So guys, thank you again. I will see you next time. My challenge for you guys this week is just to go play some guitar or any instrument, really. If you haven't played any guitar in the last week, pick up a guitar. Your guitar feels bad. It's feeling sad and neglected. Go and pick one up and just give it a go. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.